You know that almost every single famous person has lost a child. Every single person you see here in this video has lost a child, often under bizarre and mysterious circumstances. If you can find a rare exception of a celebrity who did not lose a child, they usually will have lost someone incredibly close to them much before the assumed time that person would have died, like a mother or a father. This phenomenon stretches across the whole spectrum of celebrity, everyone from musicians, actors, politicians, rock stars, and even sports stars. How many people do you know in your life who has lost a child? How many people do you know that lost that child under mysterious circumstances? Just from a mathematical perspective, it does seem a little odd that we can find so many examples of this amongst celebrity culture. What in the world is going on with this?
You won't believe this. So, the Egyptian pyramids, you know, those famous little pyramids in Giza, even though they were built, 4,500 years ago or something, they still perfectly align with the belt of Orion. Like, I'm talking perfectly. But how is that actually possible if we're on a globe and we're spinning in 5 different directions through the void of space and we will never see the same stars again? Well, that's impossible. We still have the same stars. We've always had the same star constellations. And not only that, pyramids in Mexico and pyramids in China also align with the belt of Orion. Well, why would they be aligning with this specific constellation? Some people theorize that Sirius, the brightest star in the night sky, is a portal to other realms. So maybe they were aligning with it energetically to try to teleport to other realms or connect the heavenly realm to the worldly realm. But Sirius looks an awful lot like Siri. And what do you do when you talk to Siri? You're talking to your phone, but you're talking to the ether. You're talking to other realms. When you're on your phone, you're on social media, when you're watching this video right now, you're communicating with other worlds, the ether. This is the Matrix. We are being pulled into a digital world. It doesn't actually physically exist, but I'm here right now talking to you. So maybe that's why Sirius looks an awful lot like Siri. Pretty weird, huh? But this video was for entertainment purposes only. Stars don't align with anything.
Hey, what's up? I'm Tony Hawk, and I recently became an ambassador for Liquid Death Mountain Water. Apparently, I didn't read the fine print, and now Liquid Death officially owns my soul. And my blood, too? I don't know. It's very confusing. They're taking my blood, and we're going to use it for skateboard graphics. So they're going to mix my blood into the paint and do a limited run of skateboards using my real blood in the graphics. But some of the profits will go towards killing plastic pollution and to building skate parks in underserved communities. Yeah, so I guess go to liquiddeath.com to get skateboards with my blood in it. So wait, if you have my blood, that means you have my DNA.
Get the Liquid Death skateboard infused with 100% real Tony Hawk today. Wow, you can own your very own piece of Birdman, but hurry, supplies are extremely limited, so visit liquiddeath.com/hawkblood right now.
If you want to have war, you will get war. If you want to destroy China, you will be destroyed. If you want to impose nuclear war on China, you will be wiped out by nuclear war. This is very serious. China's policy is very clear. China will not fire the first shot, but China will not allow you to fire the second shot. If you have not watched the Victory Day parade in Beijing on September the 3rd, one of the weapons China demonstrated is a missile with all the warheads. We call it 61 because it can contain 60 nuclear warheads plus 1 hydrogen bomb. Now, in the world of today, let me tell you, which country has hydrogen bomb? China is the only country with hydrogen bomb. And that ICBM can cover every corner of the world in less than 20 minutes and destroy any target in any corner of the world without any possibility of being intercepted. I hope Washington has learned the lesson.
Another quite humiliation for China. Chinese-made air defense systems in Venezuela neutralized easily. Iranian drones useless. US electronic warfare didn't just win, it erased the battlefield. It was a superb demonstration of American military superiority over China. And every country watching just learned a brutal lesson, which is Chinese weapons look good in brochures and fake propaganda videos, but they collapse under real pressure. And let's be honest, Venezuela is not Ukraine. It's right next to the United States. Since the Monroe Doctrine, Washington has been very consistent. No external power gets a foothold in the Western Hemisphere. China tried to sneak in through loans, oil, and ideology, propping up a dictator. It just got kicked out hard. Maduro thought China, Russia, and Iran had his back. Well, Mr. Maduro, I think you overestimated BRIC propaganda and underestimated American power. China writes statements. America.
Wow. Joseph Stalin. He was Illuminati. He was a member of the Grand Orient Lodge. Leon Trotsky, Grand Orient Lodge. Kissinger is a member committee of 300. J. Edgar Hoover, 33. Cecil John Rhodes, Aleister Crowley. Walt Disney was a 33-degree Freemason. Olive Palm, Al Gore, Tony Blair, Joseph Mengele. That's interesting. That's the mass murderer of the Nazis. He was Illuminati. Robert McNamara. You name it, they're all there. Billy Graham. Oops, sorry, let's move on. Colonel John Glenn, Buzz Aldrin, everyone who's ever been up in space has to be a Freemason of the highest degrees. Edgar Mitchell, all the way through, Francis Bacon, Lord David Owen, all the negotiators, Richard Halbrook. I'm just running through some of them. Alan Greensprang, Peter Wallenberger, Queen Elizabeth is the queen of the Bilderbergers. Prince Philip, Queen Beatrix, she's the Committee of 300. Prince Bernard of the Netherlands, Committee of 300. And so we go on and on and on and on. Ted Kennedy, Rockefeller, David Rockefeller, Deng Hui, Baron von Rothschild. Hillary Clinton is 6 Grand Dame. She's a very high Freemason. Albert Pike, of course, you know, Bertrand Russell, Otto von Habsburg, Weishaupt, all the way back. Here is Edgar Hoover. President Dwight D. Eisenhower there honors him with the 33 Grand Cross at the Special.
The American people today, if they knew the whole story of what the security apparatus in the United States military and in the United States government were doing to them and to their so-called constitutional guarantees, they'd be rioting in the streets. The Defense Intelligence Agency and every one of the, I think maybe at least 24 major security organizations in our government concluded that beyond the shadow of a doubt, this secret must be kept not only from the American people, but from the world population at large. And as a result of that decision, they have created a worldwide conspiracy among governments to keep the lid on this secret. Now, let me share with you what some of the 4 major conclusions of the assessment were in 1964. In 1964, they had determined, at least this is in the NATO study, and I know for a fact that this is the conclusions that had been reached by our own military as early as 1949. Number one, planet Earth is and has been the subject of an extensive, massive, a very thorough and detailed study by several extraterrestrial civilizations. Now that's an attention getter in itself. Number two, these civilizations have demonstrated an extremely advanced technology, possibly hundreds or even thousands of years beyond our own. It gets better. There seems to be a process or a plan of some kind unfolding. The studies indicated and demonstrated that a development of some kind of program was underway. Evidence collected indicated that the program has been going on for a very long time, possibly hundreds or even thousands of years, and some of my associates, research fellows, and I have concluded it's probably been going on longer than that. The study concluded that there did not appear to be a major military threat involved in 1964. That if they, whoever they are, were malevolent or hostile, there was absolutely nothing we could do, because the level of technology that had been demonstrated was so far beyond anything we had in 1964 that we felt that if they were hostile or malevolent, the game was up. It was all over with. What we are addressing here and dealing with is indeed the major issue of our time. It goes beyond the Soviet dissolution of the Soviet Union. It goes beyond the Cold War. It goes beyond politics, the recent election. It goes beyond the famines, the revolutions, the terror in Yugoslavia. It goes beyond any major human problem that we are currently dealing with on this planet, because this problem has been with us for thousands of years and is indeed the major issue of our time. And I hope you will agree with me when I'm finished as to why. The assessment was about 1.5 inches, maybe 1.75 inches thick. The study itself, in its conclusions, it was supported by approximately 8 inches of annexes, supporting documents, supporting studies, supporting research. There were annexes on radar and electromagnetic effects. There was an annex on optical and light analysis. A beautiful annex on photographic and holographic analysis. There was historical research and evidence. They went to some of the top people in England at Oxford and Cambridge on the historical evidence. There was metallurgical and technical analysis. There were atmospheric physics studies, biological analysis, and autopsies. The three issues that I thought of at the time of being the most important were the psychological studies and the impact upon the human race, sociological effects and implications, and probably what I have considered to be the most important annex and study of all in terms of its effect upon the world population is the theological implications and impact.
You want to know something? I'll give you a quote. We're a third world country now. You want to know why? I'm an expert. I've been to them. I spent 17 months in Southeast Asia while the draft dodger was playing golf. Right? You know how I know we're a third world country? Because in third world countries, they have the military doing their police work in the cities when you walk around. I was in the Philippines the day Ferdinand Marcos declared martial law and went under dictatorship. We went from nobody to a guy with a machine gun on every corner. That's what happens in a dictatorship. In comes the military. That's what's happening here. And people better wake up to it. You want to read something? Then read your history of Germany. and start comparing the tactics of what happened in 1930s Germany to what's happening here. Read history. You learn from history. Anytime you have the loss of life that needlessly happens, that's tragedy. And what occurred yesterday did not have to happen.
Holy shit, the feds are already dropping some of the charges against Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. Yesterday, they were forced to admit that the Cartel de los Soles, which they accused Maduro of being the head of, isn't even a real drug cartel. They're probably worried that it's going to come out in court that it's actually the CIA that's behind most of the drug trafficking in Venezuela. Honestly, we've been knowing the CIA does this. I mean, fucking 60 Minutes did a whole ass news piece on it back in 1993. The CIA created the Cartel de los Soles. Now it's wild to see the feds backtracking on the main pretense for why they even invaded and kidnapped Maduro in the first place. I'm not saying Maduro's gonna walk necessarily, because if the feds want you, they'll find a way to get you. They've probably got Mexican drug cartel kingpins like Ovidio Guzman or Mayo Zambada lying, saying that they got their cocaine from President Maduro, which is absurd. You think Maduro's on the phone with fucking Ovidio Guzman, Chapo's son, discussing coke deals? You out of your fucking mind? Nobody's that stupid. And if the Cartel de los Soles doesn't exist, how can Maduro be the head of an organization that doesn't exist? I think he's gonna get a slap on the wrist. He might not even get prison time. And if he does, when the Democrats take back power, they're gonna pardon him. Just a reminder, you guys, our leaders are a pedophile cult who kill people all over the world and are ruining our country.